And it should be an unsaturated star. Because remember, this star is saturated, and it's white. And it's white because it's saturated, because it saturated the red level, and then saturated the blue level, and then saturated the green level, and hence became white. But it's not really white, it's red, like everything else is red, and so it would be worthless for me to try to color correct on this white star. I should correct on a star that is not saturated, so maybe that one right there. And so the way to do that would be to select that. I'm going to use this dropper tool, and I'm going to use a color sampler tool. And I'm going to change I'm not going to just collect a point sample, I'm going to change a 5 by 5 average. And I kind of select a whole set of 5 pixels here. I'm going to select that whole star. And that's going to give me this. And you'll see what happens when you select another one. Like I usually select 3 or 4. Select that one. And I've just got that one. Here's that point. So here's this point selected. You see that it's a little bit red. It's redder. There's this red value, green value, and blue value. And so one of these stars, it better be white. Not this one. So I'll actually select 4 of them. So I would bet one of these stars is white. So if we make those stars white by just changing the levels of each individual channel, then it should work, right? So I'm going to go with the red channel, and I'm going to turn this white balance down. I can't go this way, it just makes it more red. I'm going to go this way and change the red point so that this value, 86, becomes 39. I'm going to match the red level to whatever the green level is. So it means I have to take it way down somewhere in here. And that will color correct my image. Now, you see that I'm doing something wrong. And you probably saw what was happening. And you see people try to do this, and you see the problem that occurs is that I'm sorry, wrong thing. So as you try to color correct your image, you might be doing pretty well on your image, but then you will find out, you'll see people that have these cyan-colored stars all over the place. And the reason is because those stars are saturated. They started out white, and now I've corrected them away from white, and that's why they're cyan. So that's the problem. I need to correct the image, but I shouldn't be messing with these white stars, because they're saturated. So the way to fix that is, before you color correct them, we're going to deselect the white star cores. So let's find a couple of those. You can see there's a couple of saturated stars here. I'm going to select by color range, and I'm now going to select the white core of one of the stars.
Do you have to find every one then in the picture?
No. Okay, what?
You have to find every one in the picture?
No, I'm just selecting all points in the picture.
You still have your 5 by 5 average on, right?
No. I shouldn't. Am I still using 5 by 5 average?
I think that whenever you set it in the sampler, it's going to do it in the color range tool too. I'm not sure, but I think it does.
Wait, is that right? If you set the range in the
color
sampler, it will also do that in the select by color?
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I believe so.
Let me turn it off. But that's interesting. I've never known that. I'm not sure it's a bad thing. So what we're going to do is select color, select a star, a white color.
If you turn on cap locks, you can be more accurate about what you select.
It will give you finer control. I don't know that. Cool. All right, so I have now, it looks to me like I've selected just these bright star cores. And I'm going to say, okay, now I've selected everything in the image that's pretty white. That's pretty close to white. That's just going to be the star cores. All right, that's what's selected right now. I'm going to make that selection just a little bit fuzzy by going to Modify, Expand. And expand by, all my default settings are wrong. Using the wrong version of Photoshop. I'm going to expand by a couple of pixels, and then I'm going to feather back by a couple of pixels. And that will have the effect of making that selection just a little bit fuzzy. I don't want that part of it all. All right, so now I'm approximately selected all of the white saturated star cores, which is exactly what I don't want to select. I want to leave those things alone. So now I inverse that selection. And now I'm selecting everything but the star core. And now it's time to color correct.
And you can tell that because there's marching ants around the whole.
Marching ants around this
the
little
outside
section.
of the image.
Yes, right there, you see the little marching ants around the selected star.
No. It'll be around the edges of
And around the edge of
Around the
entire,
filter days.
of the entire image.
around the whole image.
Which tells you that you selected everything, back all the way out. See this
Oh, you
marching ants around the whole border, which
Yeah.
tells you I selected everything.
Oh, okay.
Now we go back to select. We move to our color sampler tool, and we grab a couple of what we hope to be whitish stars. I'll pick 4 of them, and color correct. So I'm going to do that by taking and adjusting only the red level and pulling its white point up so that, or white point down so that that 150 becomes 60. And right here, this 150 red channel becomes 60, which is what the green level is. So then the red will match the green in that star. Take a little more, okay, right in here. And it is not. This star is intrinsically red, I can tell. So that one matched, this one matched, but these ones didn't. So it looks like one of these is going to be white. I'm going to take, all right, that's got the red and the green matching for 3 out of 4 of those stars. This other one's going to say red. That's fine, it's probably a red giant. All right, so now I'm going to adjust the blue level. And I'm going to bring down the white level of blue so that this 25, not this 25, that's not a white star anymore, so that this 27 becomes 38. Right here. All right, so this star is pretty gray right now, as are, this one's a little bit reddish, this one's a little bit reddish. So we'll call this color correction. Something you can spend hours messing with. But we'll be done with that. So this is what I would call a color-corrected image, and I've color-corrected it without stretching it. So I haven't ruined that part of the image. So I would say that. This may not work.
And of course, you're always working off of the copy, not the original.
Yeah, I should have saved it as that. I think we just got it covered. Oh, well, all right.
Well, what you can do is go back to history where you own it, save it, and then go back to history.
Or save it as.
And then save as.
Oh, I have a copy of it.
Okay.
I did save a copy. I thought I might have crashed the computer by writing this in. We're going to do this all in one go.
You can tell I caught myself doing it.
You've done this before. All right. Maybe this will work. I'm going to call it CC for color correction. Okay. We're color corrected. The next thing would be to stretch this thing. And we're going to have to do it in Photoshop. So I'm not real good at that, but here's the way, kind of the way Jeff would do it. I do it a little bit different.
Image adjustment.
Image adjustment.
Levels.
You would go straight for curves.
Yeah.
I tend to use levels a little bit first. You can call it cheating, and sometimes here's what we want to do. I know what this image looks like.